guys. Just want to talk about a recent experience that I just had with a show called Shen Yun. Shenyun. Shen Yun. It's a Oriental show. I don't know whether it's Japanese, Chinese, Korean, whatever they are, but they're all Oriental in this show, and it is from one of those Oriental countries, and it talks about Daphne. I don't even know what Daphne is, so I'm not even gonna get into it, but it's supposed to portray something about Daphne. So if someone out there knows what it's supposed to portray and can attach it to this Daphne, they know exactly what I'm talking about. So, but the show was so disappointing. Let me start by saying that, first of all, I bought seats that weren't nosebleed seats. And what I mean by that is seats that was up in the front, uh, next to the orchestra. The stage was like right there, right in front of my face. I could have gotten nosebleed seats. Nosebleed seats would have cost me maybe 60, 70, $80, but I ended up spending $200 just to get good seats. Because for the last 3 years I wanted to see this show so bad, but I just never wanted to spend the money, to be honest. So this year for 2025, I decided, okay, I'm gonna spend the $200. It's gonna be a gift to myself. I deserve it. I'm gonna spend the $200 to go and see this show. Well, I think I would have worked out better getting nosebleed seats. I would have felt a lot better. Will I pay to go back to see this show again? Never in a lifetime. Once is enough for me. This show was very disappointing. They had some kind of screen in the background, like some kiddie type stuff to where these dancers were going behind the stairs, and it would make it look like they were going up into the screen, because they were trying to tell some story, but the story just never connected with me. And having that screen with this cartoonish thing in the background just it just didn't resonate with me that great. So let me explain to you about this show, what I understand after going to this show. I got to realize that there's more than one group of these people. There's about six groups of them that travel throughout the United States that put this show on. By the way, they're all the same size, height, and weight. It's like you have to be a certain size, height, and weight to get a job doing this. And you have to go to the same school, and you have to do excellent to be able to be a part of Shenyun. So, just to get that off my chest, that there were no different size people here. There was only one guy that came on by himself that was singing, that was a little fat around the waist. But for the most part, everybody is like a buck 25 and a certain height. If you were bigger than that or taller than that, you were not going to be part of Shen Yun. So just to let the world know over out there, and all the Oriental people who think they can get a job with Shen Yun, you got to be a certain height, sweetheart, to get a job with them at a certain weight. If you're overweight or you taller or shorter, you're not going to get it. So don't even attempt. So, but anyway, back to my disappointment with this show. So, the show, from what I understand, is they have these groups that go around But the show is never the same. It's all different. It's never the same show at all. From state to state that they go, it's different. And they travel around from different states, the six group. And they change the show every year. So what you see on TV that they're advertising is different parts from different shows that were very good that they pierced together and put on TV to advertise this show. And not only that, this these people that are talking about, oh, how exciting the show is, and they'll definitely go see it again, and it was so good and fabulous and great. That was a one-time deal that they got these people to say this shit and keep replaying the same ads over and over from these parts of these shows that don't even exist anymore because they change the shows. They change the shows I hear every year. So what they show you as a commercial is not what you actually go and see. It's different. And so let me start off by saying how my day started with this show. And it's not a factor that plays into why I said I was disappointed. The beginning of what happened to me does not play into why I said I was disappointed with the show. I was disappointed with the show because the show was actually bullshit, to be honest with you. Would I pay to go see it again? Hell no. Would I recommend it to my friends? Oh yeah, if you want the experience, I would recommend it. But what I would recommend is that you get nosebleed seats just to get the experience, but not to get the expensive ticket like I did. All right. So let me start off by saying how it played out for me at this show on in January. So I live in an eastbound direction from where the show is, from where this theater is. So I'm coming from east to west. But then there's the highway where people are coming from west to east, and a lot of them don't live as close as I do to this theater. So they're coming off the highway and coming from west, coming east. So I'm across the street getting ready to turn left. I'm at the light. But then across where people are coming from west to east, they're already in the right lane. So they're turning right at the corner to go up into the garage. So by them turning right to go up into the garage, by the time my light changed, I'm across the street from them. The light changed for me to make a left turn. Once I make that left turn now, I've got to squeeze my ass over there into the right lane to be able to turn right into the garage. Now, mark you, this garage is not only for this show, this garage is public parking. Anybody can park in this garage. Even though the garage has the name of the theater on it, that's just for advertising purposes or to, you know, yeah, to show, okay, this is the garage you can go to this theater, but it has no bearing on the theater itself. It's public parking. As long as you got your money to pay, you can go park in there, show or no show. So I turned and I squeezed over into the right lane to get into the garage. As I'm entering the garage, this kid, he couldn't have been no more than 19 or 20, he stops me. What show are you going to? Now, mark you, I'm sitting across the street all this time waiting on the light to change so I can make my left turn. So I can squeeze my ass over into the right lane to get into the garage. But I'm watching and I see cars just piling in the garages. They're in the right lane and they're just turning right and piling in. in droves because they're coming off the highway, which the highway was further west. So they're turning in, turning in, turning in. And you could see the long line of people. No one's asking anybody any questions. There's just a few guys there that's directing traffic, but they're not really saying anything to these people. These people are turning into the garage. All right. I get up to the garage, and this kid, 19, 20 years old, he stops me, asks me what show I'm going to. I didn't answer him. For what reason am I going to answer him? Did you stop any of these people, these droves of cars that were coming in, and ask them what show they were going to? Now, mark you, I understand these type of shows. There's only a type of people that go to these type of shows. But I'm the kind of person that you will find anywhere doing anything because I have a curious mind. I want to learn. I want to experience. I want to see shit. So you will find me in the weirdest places at the weirdest time, and you will wonder what's she doing here. I'm here out of curiosity. I'm curious. I want to know. You understand? Because the only thing you can do in this life is to either educate yourself, have an open mind, see all that you can't see before you pass. So I like to see shit. So I didn't respond to him when he said that the first time. But the second time he asked me, I said none of your effing business. And he kept asking me and kept trying to block me from going inside the garage. Now, mark you, this is a public parking garage. There was an older guy that was also assisting with parking. He turns to him and he says, let her go. Let her go. So when he said that to him, he decided to let me go and stop blocking me because me and him was going to have a big fight because I was going to stay right there and block all the rest of the people coming off of the highway trying to get in because of this fool. So when he said let her go, I said the only reason he stopped me is because I'm black. So the guy says, well, I'm black too. And I said, yes, you're right. And that's why you stopped me. Because you didn't stop nobody else. Because they didn't look like me. That's why you stopped me. Because you thought I was coming into the wrong place. Your own people. This is how they treat you. Remember, I tell you this. All right, so let me go on. After that experience, and I ended up way up on third level parking because all the parking was taken up on first and second level, so I ended up at third level. But who cares? Because they got elevators and stairwells and whatever. So I end up there. Only to realize that it was a lucky thing that I did download the app on my phone. There's a parking app. And I downloaded the parking app. And when I downloaded the parking app, I was able to use the parking app to park because you have to have a zone number and whatever to park. So I found my zone number, typed in my parking. Cost me $15 to park. It charged you for 6 hours. I only used 3.5 of those hours. So the other 2.5 hours just say went into smoke. Like, really? You charge 6 hours for a 2.5 hour show? And the funniest thing about it is most of these people did not even pay for parking. Because as I'm up there on third level, scuffling through this app trying to figure out how to use it to pay for parking, people were just passing going in. And I'm like, aren't they paying for parking? What's going on? Well, when I came back out, I understood why they didn't pay for parking because there's nobody there to check to see if you paid for parking. No one to check to see if you paid for parking. So A lot of people got away with not paying for parking for that show. I guarantee you. I'm not even asking. I know because I seen them just come, walk down into the elevator or walk down the stairwell. But I go in the theater and I ended up sitting in the second seat from the end. On the end of me was a guy. He came by himself. So he started conversating with me. His wife, he had been wanting to come to the show. He never came because he could never get the time to come. And finally he decided to come, but the wife doesn't want to come, so he come by himself, which was cool. Me and him had a long conversation. So what ended up happening after that was there was two ladies towards the left of me. And those two ladies towards the left of me, they never spoke to me, never said anything. They just kept watching me, looking at me. So I guess I didn't belong there for real. What the guy, if I listened to the guy talking about what show you going to, I would have ended up but I didn't pay them any attention because they were weird. All right. So, but to be honest with you, the show was a total disappointment to me. Total disappointment. Will I pay to go see this show again? No. I will never ever pay to go see this show again. This is not something that I want to go see again. I've had my experience. Did I hate the show? No, I didn't hate the show. Don't get me wrong. The bottom line is I felt that I spent too much to go see something that really wasn't even worth that kind of money. Am I sad about the money I spent? No. I just wouldn't spend it again. I just wouldn't spend it again to go see that show. I'd probably spend it to go see something else. That show just wasn't worth my $200. And knowing what I know now, that they change the show every year, and what you see on TV is like they cut out the best parts and make it look like this dramatic stuff, and these people are leaping across the stage like they are. They're really not. They're really not. So don't get fooled by Shen Young's advertisement. I'm not here to badmouth Shen Young. Go right ahead and make your money, Shen Young. But I just want people to know, go see it, but not for a $200 seat. Go see it just for the experience and for nosebleed seats because that's all you're going to need to get the experience is a nosebleed seat. Like, share, subscribe, hang out with me because I'm telling the truth. I'm going to be here on this platform to tell you guys the truth about everything. I'm a realist. So, have a great day.